Shalom. All praise to Yahweh. Hashem Yahushua, Hashem Harakal Kadash. The one that said elder apostles of great millstone in the world well. Shalom to the brothers in the wax sharing truth. I'm just reading through John. It's kind of meditating on it. And, just want to say a few things. That's from John 3:3. It says, Yahushua answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of the Most High. Nicodemus saith unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter into the second time into his mother's womb and be born? It's funny because, Christians are those super born againers where they always be told, oh, you need to be born again, oh, you need to be born. But, these guys don't really, they don't even understand. These guys don't even know what salvation is. They don't know what, the true kind of core of why you're how you engage with this truth, how you engage with this word, how you're baptized, baptized by the word. Because as far as these guys are under some illusion that they're saved, and the core thing, which further down is the name. The name under which you do it, that's really the core thing. And these guys ain't been let in, man. They ain't been given the key. I mean, there's also you have Israelites as well, guys that they might even know their name. They know they're Israelites especially. But then what? Even for them, they're still bringing in the old things, man. The old man. Because that's what Yahushua answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of the Most High. And you're born of the spirit, man. A lot of people, they're worldly, man. They're carnal. There's, tethers tying them down, man. There's chains. There's things locking them into this world where they're just kind of, they're fucked. They're fucked. And then they're kind of looking at things like, oh, da, da, da. But they don't realize they're even locked into the world, man. Because if you consider it's like Christianity is a component of this world. That's pushing the image of Esau. That's pushing the image of Esau, Edom, as God, of Cesare Borgia, as the son of God. That's really what that's, part of. They're not really dealing with the actual truth. And then you have, your guys calling them Israelites, IUIC, saying, Most High Christ bless. They're talking about some Jesus. And then the core thing is what? The testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. The lunatics like Genesis saying, oh, no, the heathen are going to be saved. There's a form of salvation for the heathen, which, bro, it's like when you deal with a heathen, you're like, bro, these guys can't be dealt with, man. They're gonna have to do whatever the hell on this side, and then be dealt with in the kingdom. Because otherwise, it's how's it gonna run? And those things come from the Spirit. There's a Spirit that quickeneth, man. The Holy Spirit that needs to be dealing with you. Otherwise, lest you ain't really got a core. You ain't got any kind of rooting, really, to understand this word. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of spirit is spirit. Marvel not that I said unto thee, ye must be born again. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh, and whither it goeth. So is every one that is born of the Spirit. Yeah, just as the wind, bloweth where it listeth, man. But then it's you don't know where it came from, and that's Proverbs 31, I believe. It says, where's the beginning of the wind, I believe it is. And it says, what is his name? What is his son's name? If thou canst tell. And there's also a core aspect. You need to know what the name is. You need to know the name of the Father. and name of the Son. That's core to receiving salvation. Nicodemus answered. It's funny as well because Nicodemus came. I believe he came by night. Yeah, he came by night at this time. How can these things be? And even that to ask is a wise question. It's funny because it's teaching on the street, even in videos online, the comment section and whatnot. Very few people kind of hear what's being said and think, okay, what's really going down? What's gonna happen? What's up? Like what kind of what action should I take? Because for some people they'll need to. It's not a reality what men are saying. They're thinking of it as just it's some form of entertainment or something to that extent. They just say, oh, these guys are interested. Oh, I'm not saying, why are you in dresses and that, and they're just kind of, all right, I see. But then some people might be like, okay, maybe they got something to say. They might hear certain things getting broken down and be like, there's something to that, But even that requires a spirit. Because why? It's you've got the angels out here that are blinding and deafening various, especially amongst Israel. The bulk of Israel has been blinded and deafened, till the cities be wasted without inhabitant, man. Until destruction comes, because they must needs be blinded and deafened, man. They can't receive this word, because they've got a role to play where they've got to get absolutely wasted on this side, man. It says, what Nicodemus answered and said unto him, how can these things be? Yahushua answered and said unto him, art thou a master of Israel, and knowest not these things? Verily, verily, I say unto thee, we speak that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and ye receive not our witness. If I have told you earthly things, and you believe not, how shall you believe if I tell you of heavenly things? It's funny because the earthly things. It's fun. It's funny because it's like even to receive that you're an Israelite, know you're an Israelite is like is not it's this is deep, obviously, because the state of the world is something that you're not easily going to stumble upon. The Spirit's really got to have it so that you can come around to it and be like, oh, wait. And then someone's going into the curses, someone's going into various places in the scriptures, and then lining up, like, going to the color scriptures, going into end time prophecy, going into Babylon the Great, and then, different tribes, going into Deuteronomy 32. Genesis 49, I'm breaking these things down. It's Deuteronomy 33, I believe. Then you kind of receive, and you're like, oh, okay, it comes, it's obviously a deep thing, but then it's something that you go 2,000 years ago. All these guys, when Yahushua was on the scene, they knew they were Israelites. They knew that a Messiah needed to come. They knew, because why? So it's like all them prophecies exist. That's why it's like when Yahushua was on the scene, said, now this has been fulfilled. There was prophecies telling of who needed to come, but they didn't receive it back then, even though they knew they were Israelites. So really, it's like knowing you're an Israelite, that's the least thing. But then what? It's like you had the one with the issue of blood, where just because she knew, oh, Yahushua, as long as I can touch him, I'll be healed. You had like the what you call it? You had various men where it's like they just believed on the name. They believe it. They're like, oh no, Yahushua is the one. Was it the centurion as well? There was various where they were just like, okay, as long as I can get this man to deal with me, then it's like I'm good. They knew, they'd received it, the Spirit, more so than those that, they might have been keeping the law, they might have been in the land, they might have had their documents, they might have known, like, okay, yeah, I'll go back to this, to the, what tribe, what whatever, all the regions. They knew, okay, yeah, we went through, I know in my line, went through Babylon, went through this, went through that, and we're still here, we're still strong. Fucking Anton Fisher. But then, they weren't set to receive Yahweh Shai. They have to wait till the other side, man. But it says, well, I've told you earthly things and you believe not. How shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? And no man hath ascended up to heaven, but he that come down from heaven, even the Son of Man which is in heaven. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have eternal life. And yeah, the Christians are gonna be like, oh, whosoever. But again, if you can't receive earthly things, how can you receive spiritual? It's as far as to even understand who that salvation applies for. Who can even believe when you have a shine? It's a thing. It's like, even it's funny. It's like, 'cause they had it this week at camp as well. That you tell people, oh, Yahushua is a so-called black man, dark skin, a white woolly afro, and then, they buck up. Because why? These things are just they're allergic to Yahushua, man, to the Most High. It's really for the elect, and it's really something. It's the Spirit needs to work for you to receive that. For anyone to kind of receive that is a heavy thing. But then what does it say? The Christian special, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. But obviously, you go into the world, and then it's the cosmos. For the power so loved the cosmos, the collection, the arrangement, the government. And then, when you're using that word, the Greek, the cosmos, which is used for the heavens, the different cosmos. When using, for God to love the cosmos with the arrangement, the group, the government, you're going to think, okay, what government was that? Oh, the same government he was dealing with, the same government that's been stressed time and again. That's the only government being dealt with. You go to Revelation, 7, the same government there as well. The 12 tribes, that's who's getting dealt with. With that, then it's just, you have to want, it's plain as day. And that's why you got to go into the Greek, you go into the Hebrew, and, you understand. And, it was even stressed in the prologue as well, in what you call it, in the Apocrypha, that, the weight of some words, the strength's been lost with the translation to English, where it has, where, the world is defining various things. But then, it's just particular in this one. So John 3:16, it's always the go-to. They say, oh, no Jew, no Greek. And you just have to wonder, like, bro, it's like, there was Babylonians, there was Persians, there was, those all these different, those Elamites, those Moab, Japhet, Ham, Mizraim, like, there's all kinds of nations. Why is it just specifying a Jew and a Greek? But then it's you need to go into history to break those things down. This is what should not perish but have everlasting life. For the Most High sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. And yeah, I believe that's cosmos as well in this one. Cosmos, not to condemn the cosmos. So it's not that Israel, it's not to their destruction. But then, for the 2/3 it is going to be, because as far as for them to receive it, that, that spirit's been withheld. Their job right now is to, taste the fire, dance, they got crunk out in the flames, and then come back, be born. They've got to be born in the flesh again, in the kingdom, man. And then they'll be in their right mind, man. Because what does it say? For the Most High sent his Son, is what condemn the world, that world through him might be saved. Yeah, and that's the core thing as well, man. It's actually under salvation. And that's the beauty of that is what Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it, the follower, and a big aspect of, and that's the reason why a lot of people really are just so wired into this world and don't really can't come to it, is because they don't want to accept this place ending, man. They really are entrenched. These guys call themselves Israelites, but then they're setting up schools, establishing themselves, ingratiating themselves within the system, trying to carve out their little niche in America, man. America, the greatest country on earth, where everyone can kind of, carve their niche. That's what they're believing in, more so than, this word. But, that's the beauty of it, is that you've got, a huge arena, a lot of people, different people in play, and, various different stories that can kind of be told, man. There's examples there. Because what does it say? He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already. Because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of the Most High. Yeah, that name. That's just why it's what is his name? What's his son's name? If thou canst tell. If you don't have, access to that name, salvation's withheld. You don't know the name of the Most High. The name of the Most High is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and it's safe. It's necessary. It's essential. Those guys in the land, those imposters, they say what Hashem, the name, because why? Name it is dreadful among the heathen. Then what does it say? And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. And that's the other part. There's all kind, Al-Azhar, Alizé is a good example to go to. All kinds of, his spirit was confrontational and averse to the spirit from the first. Man was cursing out the apostles, cursing out X, Y, Z. He couldn't stay in order, and for carnal things as well. For the wearing fitted caps and just simple things, worldly things, where in a worldly sense he wanted to be perceived a certain way, which he is. You go to the comments underneath his shit. It's despite what he's done. It's like it's fucking crazy what what man was getting up to, bruv. Pimping out your ting to to white things, like what to white dude, like what are you even doing? Like that's just insanity. But then what? These are things that these are things that people look at, and they're fucking hell. They just think, oh, it's like, no, it's cool, brother. But then you're not thinking about the spiritual things. It's funny as well. And then that guy gets all the forgiveness in the world, but then let you be GMS. These guys will fight you to the death, because why? They're just they're cut. The scriptures cut them. The truth of the matter cuts them. That's the reality of it. Their deeds were evil, man. They're of the world. They like how slimy and grimy everything is. As Nate said, when he was talking about that adultery that was happening in his congregation, madness. But that's the truth of the matter is within them as to why they can't receive these things, man. Because it's not like the men that came in weren't dirty, filthy creatures. We're all going the hell off, man. We're all doing all kinds of madness off in the world. But then what? It's basically, turning over that new leaf, becoming that new man, and accepting Yahweh Shai. That's really the core of it. That's what a lot of these people can't do. They've been blocked. They had to bind us put on, man. But yeah, I'll leave it there. All right, shalom, shalom.